which is tomorrow. Today is the last day for registration. You don't, if I'm right, I don't believe you necessarily have to register to show up, but there'd be less likely chance of you being able to get like the name tags and all the cool stuff. Also, remember we still need candy for Halloween challenge, which is next Friday. I believe it is Thursday or Friday, but next week. Friday. We have about 4 bags of candy. I'm not sure how many pieces that is, but we need a total of 5,000 pieces. So just bring them in anytime you're able to. Give it to one of the officers, or you can always take it up to Dr. Eldridge's office, which is up on the 4th floor of the Math and Science building. Like once you get off the elevator, you would turn right, go to the door, and just walk down the hall. You'll see her name on her door, and just leave it with her. Also, just so everyone knows, our actual theme for the doors, I know on Facebook it was saying it was going to be The Little Mermaid, but we got a confirmation that it is in fact Cinderella that we're doing. Before and Tether, I guess that you guys are going to be doing like a clock kind of theme. I don't know. When she comes in, she'll give more information about all that. Exactly. She'll most likely want to meet with you guys after the meeting, whoever can help, so that you guys can start jotting down ideas and everything for that. Also, just so you know, we decided that we're going to do the whole little birthday celebration for everyone who had birthdays this month and also last month. So I woke up early this morning, glazed over a hot stove oven to make 60 cupcakes. So you guys better eat them. They should be good. One of them is like a chocolate s'more kind of cupcake with cream cheese frosting. The other is a regular strawberry cupcake with chocolate frosting. And then there's also a few over there that have no frosting, just in case you don't like frosting on them. So just feel free to grab them whenever you want. I made a lot, so once everyone gets one, you guys go back for more if you want or not. Just when you eat them, make sure you guys don't make a mess, and I prefer you didn't throw them at each other. If you want to throw them at each other, you could do that. Just do it outside, so we don't get the room dirty. Any announcements about Eldridge? No.
Are they still taking applications for homecoming complete?
Yeah, they are.
They are. Okay, so that's something else. That
So we have a 2.0 GPA. I think it's like all over the market.
yeah, so they wanted us to announce that at our club meeting that they are taking applications for king and queen for homecoming.
Yeah.
And we did have one of our, I think back in 2009, 2008 or 2009, Domain, for those of you who know who she is. She's a transgender, and she actually won for homecoming queen.
Awesome.
Yeah. She was our homecoming queen. It was either 2008 or 2009.
Alright, also came to my mind, for I'm guessing we'll be doing it in November, or for the Christmas donation. I'm guessing we'll be collecting stuff, most likely late November, to donate a bunch of Christmas stuff, like a tree, stockings, lights, and all that, and presents. And then we're going to take it to either a shelter or find a family who's in need. So when we get more information on that, because Heather's going to be in charge of that, we'll let you guys know when you guys can start bringing in stuff. Also, I wanted to also let you guys know that mid-November, most likely, we're going to be having elections to fill in our secretary spot for the spring semester. I'll make an announcement again in November, but I just wanted to let you guys know, so if anyone was interested in running for it or knew someone who is, basically you just have to be able to attend all the meetings, and you don't have to be to all of them. Right? For the most part, the ones you can make, and the officers meetings, which are mandatory, which is from 4 to 5 every Wednesday, and the nursing building. So again, I'll let you guys know November as a reminder, but just keep that in mind. But as far as October-wise, that's all I can think of.
I was gonna ask, would it be cool if like we all get together and go to homeless shelter and keep homeless for the holiday?
Yeah, we could set something like that up. We could, I could look into like a few homeless shelters and whatnot, and we could see what they're doing. Because I know the Culinary Academy, when it gets closer to Thanksgiving, they actually let like homeless people and people who are like not well off go in there and they cook them Thanksgiving dinner and serve that. I could see if it'd be possible that we could pair up with them and help out with that. We most likely wouldn't be able to cook that for food or nothing, but we'd be able to help like serve and like clean up. So I could look into that real quick. There's the knowledge. Yeah.
There's a dance tonight at UCR from 7 to, I don't know when, but yeah.
7 to question mark.
Yeah, so if you guys aren't doing anything tonight and you guys like to dance, damn, UCR. If I'm right, I believe it's going to be in the barn.
Yeah, in the barn.
Yeah, so 7 o'clock, UCR the barn, dance, lots of fun, get to meet new people. Huh?
GSA wasn't redneck. Dancing in the barn.
Don't want them to don't play that much country music. And if it is, just wear your cowboy boots and you'll fit right in.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
Going back to the, that there's a church, ministry online. I think like United something church every Wednesday night from 5:30 to 6:30. They feed homeless people, and they always need volunteers.
Yeah, if you're able to look more into that, I'll give you my email so that you could get pass on information to me.
And they're gay friendly, so.
And I can see about us setting up something for that day, going down there and helping with that.
It's probably United Church of Christ.
Alright.
That's nice.
Alright, now I'll pass it on to John.
Just click. But it's space bar, what? Space bar.
It's not the corner. Yeah.
Well, hello everyone. My name is John Garcia. I'm the event coordinator here for the GSA. And today it's my turn to run the meeting. And for today's topic, I chose to do sexual orientation. It's always kind of been a topic that's fascinated me since I kind of learned about my own sexual orientation. I don't know if you guys saw on the GSA Facebook page, you're supposed to wear a color shirt corresponding with what sexual orientation you are. Orange was pansexual. I don't normally wear orange out in public, but
I tried to look for one.
I could see
But one day I didn't bring my
the colors were awkward. I tried to work with these colors, but whatever, it fell apart, I guess. But I tried. I made an honest effort. Okay, so first sexual orientation we're going to be covering is heterosexuality. Pretty simple. You guys pretty much know what heterosexuality is. I mean, it's the most common. It's when you have a sexual attraction or feelings for someone of the opposite sex. Okay, I'm sure no one's surprised on that one. I'm sure everyone kind of gets the gist of it.
I didn't
Like-
even know they existed.
They're like unicorns in the Loch Ness Monster. Anyways, so the most common and most identified sexuality worldwide, I mean, again, no shocker, but it is a part of the LGBT community as allies. So I thought it would be, do them some justice by representing them. Common misconception with heterosexuals is they all hate or dislike or disapprove of the LGBT lifestyle. Of course, again, we all know that isn't true. We have allies and other people. It's all based on opinion and how they kind of were raised and all that jazz. So it's all subjective from who you go to. So no, not all heterosexuals hate people in the LGBT community. That's just absurd. Okay? Next slide. Okay. Now, homosexuality. Probably the most common in here. I could shoot myself in the foot by saying that. Oh, man. I swear the slide looked good until we formatted it. There's another.
By the Amen.
I know my slide by heart, so I guess I missed this one. Anyway, the definition. I got all these definitions pretty much off dictionary.com, except for gender fluid, which I had to get off Urban Dictionary. It's hard to find a set definition. But as far as the dictionary.com reference for homosexuality is sexual desire or attraction towards a person of the same sex. It's like heterosexuality, but you like the same sex. Again, no shockers. I'm sure no one's surprised by homosexuality in the definition. I'm pretty sure that's probably the most identified here in the GSA on campus. Common facts, simple stuff. Males who prefer males are called gays, and females who prefer females are called lesbians. Again, no surprises. Something you guys may not have known is homosexuality was considered a mental illness by the American Psychiatric Association until 1973. I think that's the year, pretty sure. And that's when it was taken off as a mental
79.
illness. Huh?
79.
79? 73? That's
Are you sure?
pretty sure.
I thought it was just before the 80s.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
From what I pulled up, it's
They lied to
73.
you, John. No, we're gonna write that one.
Last time I listened to whatever. Okay, a misconception for homosexuality is the majority of child molesters are gay or lesbian. Again, not true. Just statistic-wise, there's more people that are heterosexual. So that, in that favor alone, should be obvious. Like, yeah, it's probably going to be a majority. But I mean, it's staggering how much. Statistics showing that child molestation provided by the Boston Advocates for Human Rights. Bless you. You okay? You done now?
What?
You done, Heather?
I was like, hide me.
Anyway, after Heather rudely interrupted me, the Boston Advocates for Human Rights revealed that the vast majority of child molestation is over 90% is heterosexual males. A man who is sexually interested in children is rarely homosexual. So statistics are on the homosexual side saying that rarely homosexuals are into child molestation. That one was actually a really common misconception. As I was looking up, myths and rumors, that one came up a lot. So I guess that surprises people. Okay, for bisexuality, it's the definition for this one is a person who is sexually attracted to both sexes. Okay, which is going to get confusing later when we go into pansexuality, different ones. But basically, you're sexually attracted to both. Okay. They may not be equally attracted to male or female, but they are still sexually attracted to both. So they may prefer male over female, but they still are sexually attracted by female or vice versa. So it's not set in stone, it's not 50-50 all the time. It can be, but it isn't always. But that's still considered, you're still considered bisexual if you're sexually attracted to both male and female. But Andy? Okay, the misconception is bisexuals never settle down with one person because, they're kind of swaying in between, but that just isn't true. It's one of the common myths with bisexuals that they don't settle down with one person because they're always thinking about someone of the opposite sex. Again, that isn't true. Bisexuals have as much ability to be monogamous as anyone else, essentially saying they can settle down with one person of the sexuality. They don't have to swing back and forth. If they find someone in their life that they really like, they're going to stay with that person. It doesn't matter that they can still be attracted to someone of the opposite sex. Okay? Okay, now on to gender fluid. This one took me a lot of research to find, and I didn't even know this existed until I met Kyle. Hi, Kyle.
Yay, Kyle.
So this one is
Sam.
Oh, Sam. Oh, you too, Sam. Sorry. Okay. So for gender fluid, okay, it's gender fluid is a gender identity best described as a dynamic mix of boy and girl. So essentially, they kind of, I don't necessarily want to say changing on their mood. Is it more of a choice, Kyle? No offense, to kind of putting you on the spot there, or is it kind of a feeling? Because I'm not as educated on this.
Yeah, it tends to come to mind. Sometimes it's how the mind feels more comfortable.
Like sometimes it could be based on what position you're in. Say you're hanging out more with certain groups of people, they'll trigger more the endorphins and everything, and it'll just flow in whatever direction it's being triggered. And it really depends.
I liken it to like a light switch being flipped on and off.
Yeah.
One days it's that way, the other days it's that way.
That's really cool.
Sort of like maybe a guy wants to be manly one day or he'll be feminine the next.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, awesome.
Makes it very difficult to make certain decisions.
I can imagine at times.
Oh yeah.
A fact for gender fluid is what they basically just said. They basically covered my fact. Easy enough. Next slide, Andy. Okay. a misconception is that individuals are basically the same as bisexual because they can swing back and forth with gender. Again, that isn't true. All these misconceptions are false. Just in case anyone gets surprised here. But it's false because even though they switch between the gender, being gender fluid is more of a it's a gender identity, not necessarily a sexual orientation. Some people get that confused. Am I right on that one?
Yeah,
Yes.
I get that all the time. Are you
Like-
bisexual? And
It may sound weird, but for girls, oftentimes I feel lesbian, but obviously it's not the same physically.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's more of an identity and not a sexual orientation. So even though they can like both male and female, it's very much so that they could just like male or could just like female. Their sexual identity doesn't dictate their sexual orientation. So that's something I learned about that. I wasn't ready, but thank you. Okay, on to transgender facts, okay? It's an umbrella term for all those who are considered different due to their gender identity or gender expression. It can include individuals such as transsexuals, butch, genderqueer, crossdresser, and intersex. Okay? So, transgender is another one where I kind of thought I knew a lot on, but in reality, knew very little. So I think it's good that we're going over all these sexual orientations today, because there could be some that you thought you knew, and then as you learn about them, you realize that's not quite what I had in mind. So it's better to educate ourselves so we can better educate the general public. So facts, transsexuals are someone who is transgender are two different things. Transsexual is a medical term for a person who transitions from one gender at they declare birth to another gender. So transsexual is more of a medical term for the transition from one sex to another. Transgender is that umbrella term that can cover all those different things, okay? So next slide, Andy. And then at the end, we'll have a little question and answer for everybody. Okay. Transgender people are gay. That was a really common misconception for this one. Again, gender identity and sexual orientation are two different things, two completely different things. One gender we can see ourselves as the gender we identify with isn't necessarily the one we're romantically attracted to. Again, a pretty obvious thing, but you'd be surprised how many people aren't aware of this. And? Alright, my personal favorite, pansexual. That is what I identify as for my sexual orientation. It is someone who's attracted to other people regardless of their gender or sexual orientation. Andy, click it. Fact is, those who are pansexuals pray to unicorns and once every blue. Andy.
That's
Next
true.
one, Andy.
I do that.
No, that was a little joke I put in there because I figured it would be getting dull around this point. So now that everyone's laughing, the actual fact for pansexual is it's used as an inclusive term as those who are. Pansexual is used as an inclusive term as opposed to bisexual, as bisexuality refers to people liking both men and women. It does not include a wider variety of gender neutral or gender fluid terminology. Basically saying is, put it in simple terms, when you're pansexual, it's love is love. You're kind of you're gender blind. Huh? Yes. You're gender blind, you just see love for what love is. Next slide. Misconception. This one's a little personal with me, okay? Pansexuals prefer sexual intercourse with pans or other kitchenware. No, this is not true. We do not prefer sexual intercourse with kitchenware or other pots and pans. That is called object sexuality, so stop asking. It's not funny anymore, guys.
No, I like bread.
Fun.
Okay? Next slide, Andy. Okay. And I threw in a questioning as an identity. It's basically a process of exploration by people who are unsure or still exploring and are concerned about applying a social label to themselves for various reasons. So it's basically they're not satisfied with just being themselves. And I don't even want to say that because that sounds a little harsh, but they feel like they need to kind of discover themselves more. They need to fit into one of those categories. There's no misconception. Oh, there is, I guess. I don't remember putting that in here. They are secretly gay. True. No, they haven't decided yet. Simple. Okay. Next slide. Okay. now I threw this Q&A panel in here because in about a week or a month or so, GSA will be doing our own Q&A panel at the MLK steps. So I thought it would be a good idea to do a mini Q&A panel here in front of the GSA members so we can clear up any misconceptions that the PowerPoint or slide didn't educate on. So this is just spitballing here. If anyone's interested right now in doing a mini Q&A up here, answering questions for those members in the GSA, please raise your hand. I'll be representing pansexual, I guess. Or if everyone else from pansexual wants to come up, feel free. Would you like to?
I'll do trans.
Okay, come on up.
We're not here to judge.
Get up here, Kyle. You don't have a choice. Anyone want to represent the homosexual community or?
Can I represent the Nope. We gotta work with this one.
Huh?
Where's Angel? He could represent the heteros.
Would anyone else like to come up and share their experiences?
Can I share the Christian point of view?
Any of these sexualities are covered. Even if I did cover your sexuality, if you want to come up here and represent us and educate us on your sexuality, I didn't cover any.
You forgot asexual.
I did. I was.
Intersex.
Object sexuality, anyone?
Oh god.
I've seen it on TV.
Sexuals here today?
Where is her?
I love having sex.
I'm a bisexual.
Explain what it is. Is that right?
Okay.
You're not really attracted to anybody?
Okay, everybody. Well, I'll do my Boy Scout thing. Habits, guys. Okay, asexuality. As far as I'm aware, and I didn't do research into it because I forgot. It's spaced out. But asexual is. Dr. Owen, would you be able to explain asexual?
Probably not very well, but
They lack the desire.
they lack the desire to
Sexual
be
desire.
sexually attracted
Wait,
to
Andrea.
anybody.
Does not mean they can't.
You're asexual. You could.
Yeah.
It's not that they
I
can't.
was like, hola.
They can like somebody and want to be with them, but they don't have that sexual desire.
It's
They
an
don't even
emotional.
understand how you get that.
It's an emotional desire, right?
Yeah.
Not a sexual.
No, like they don't have, it's sexual.
Well,
They
then,
can have, when I went to the conference, I went to that one, and the guy said, he said that you can have, like emotions, like towards somebody, like you love them and you want to be with them, you want them to be your partner, but you don't have a sexual desire.
So it's all emotional, no sexual drive at all.
it's like
That's
they
Debbie.
lack their libido and but they can have sex. Like they will, if their partner wants it and they really love them and they want to.
Yeah, they'll do
like,
it,
they'll
but
be
they
like,
just,
oh, okay, but they don't really feel it.
they don't have a
That's-
sexual desire at all.
And then intersex?
Andy, you seem to know a lot about intersex. You keep squawking on how I forgot it. Go ahead, Andy.
No, I didn't I was just gonna tell you that's what we forgot.
I don't know very much.
Well,
I don't know very much about intersex either.
Well, like there are a lot of different intersex conditions.
Yeah.
Intersex just because it can be a hormone imbalance. It can be that your body produces either like too much or too little estrogen, testosterone, depending on which sex you were born as. It can be genitalia oriented. It can be
Can't it be a genetic thing?
yeah. It can be genetically speaking. It can be a chromosome thing. There are tons of different intersex conditions. It basically just means that it's someone who was born a certain sex, and biologically speaking, there is something within their body that is geared towards the other sex.
But it's
And-
biological.
But it's biological. It's not an
Biological.
identity, and it is not a sexuality. It is biological.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is our Q&A panel. My name's John. I'll be representing pansexual.
I'm Deshaun Thomas. I'll be representing homosexuals.
Hey, I'm Ethan. I'll be representing transgender people.
Hi, I'm Kyle. I'll be representing genderqueer or gender fluid.
Hi.
Okay.
There are two of us.
And Andy will representing the
The
Christians.
Christians, of course.
Okay. So let's get started. You guys can move up. Let's move on up this way. Then standing off to the side. Can we get the screen turned off?
Sure.
Okay, so anyone have any questions for any of us about any of our sexualities, how we feel, better understand our sexuality, our sexual orientation, or our gender identity? Any questions? Okay, who's good at acting? Who likes to role play? Why don't you play the part? No, good for you, Andy.
The kind of role play you don't want to see. The kind of role play I do.
Sorry. Play the part of the typical R.C.C. student walking by that maybe he's interested. Ask some common questions. that you don't think I covered in the slide. Come on. You guys all that afraid? Come on, ask.
Okay, I'll ask.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Have Heather start off.
I want to ask the transgender a question.
No.
I know, as you know, that's how they work.
Yeah.
It is. So transgender, like, what exactly is that? What does that entail? Like, are you a woman or a man or what?
That's what asking people.
Yeah. Wow. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten asked that. But what I typically say to that is transgender is a big giant umbrella. There's many different types, female to male, male to female, genderqueer, all that lovely stuff. And personally, I am female to male, and I take hormones, and I want to have surgery in the future, but that does not necessarily represent the views of all transgender people.
Thank you very much. I love
Okay.
Joanne.
You in the back.
I guess a question for everyone. Have you guys ever just tried being straight?
I tried. I had a girlfriend, 2 of them actually.
Oh, wow.
At the same time, sir.
I'm polyamorous too, so if any of you guys
Oh,
have
Lord.
questions about that.
Why did you explain that? Because
Yeah, let's get to explaining that.
Polyamory is when you feel sexual attraction, romantic attraction, any kind of attraction to more than one person at a time, and you have consensual relationships with more than one people. I don't know. Whatever the grammatical correct.
Okay, cool. We're gonna ignore Andy's question.
But that's a question. That's a
Yeah,
question people would
that's
ask.
a legitimate question. Yeah, I have before pretty much my senior year in high school is kind of when I did all of my exploring at once. Male, female, just everything in between.
Like a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, my senior year was intense. Saying Boy Scouts out the woods. Everyone else would make the joke, so I might as well make it too.
Behind every painting, there's a little truth. Just saying.
I knew it.
You?
Sean is.
I identify as homosexual. I'm very set in my sexuality. Obviously, I'm somewhat feminine, but I also say I'm somewhat gender fluid because it's just back and forth. I confuse my friend Ashley all the time.
We see you, Ashley. We see you.
I've always known that I like men. I love men, but ever since I was younger, like some heterosexuals may feel towards homosexuals or feel that they've never had a gay thought in their life. That's how I am with heterosexuality. I've never thought of a woman romantically without it hurting. So yeah.
And actually, while I'm up here, while I think about it, are there any allies in the room right now? Allies? Does an ally want to come up and represent allies for the LGBT community? Lindsay, get up here. That's another ally. You're my default.
Lindsay.
No questions.
We need our allies.
Here comes the queen.
Okay, Kyle, I think it was your turn.
Oh, we skipped.
No, you answered, remember?
Yeah.
All right. Questions.
Hello.
No, question Andy asked. We're still on that one.
Have you ever tried being straight?
Like, where do you rate on the Kinsey
All over that scale, depending on where my gender is. So.
Well, before I started discovering everything, I was straight for a while. I guess you could say I still am. What's funny is because of the gender fluid,
Yeah.
I feel mostly gay for like everyone. Like I said, for
Yeah,
when I'm
that's
with
how I
women,
feel.
I'm gay for
lesbian.
I'm like
Jesus.
gay for
everyone.
It's like if I'm a guy, I'm gay for guys, but if I'm a girl, I'm totally lesbian like all
Yeah.
the time.
It's like
I'm never
straight
straight.
doesn't
ever.
exist anymore. You may be having straight sex, but It doesn't really.
Wait,
feel
you're
that
thinking
way.
about me?
And Lindsay, you're from this question, so you're just kind of. We got another question, guys? What? Kyle, question directed to you, Kyle.
Has anyone ever confused mental sexuality with gender fluidity?
Actually, never gotten that question.
Bum, bum, bum.
What was the question?
Maybe.
They were consider him being metrosexual instead of
I've actually, I don't think I've gotten that term. Like, I
Isn't
know the term,
metrosexual
I've
just
never
dress
had
nice?
it.
Yeah. Applied.
I don't really dress cute.
Aw, don't talk yourself about it.
So I think he said to answer your question, no.
Not really.
Not him personally. I'm sure it's happening. Do we have any other questions? Directed to anyone? Pansexual, homosexual, transsexual, gender fluid, and ally.
Have you guys tried to pray the gay away?
No, but I'll get down on my knees any day.
Okay, guys,
I hope it's
we're
for
actually
Jesus.
at the GSA Q&A panel. That would be an appropriate answer.
It
20 years.
gives into the misconception that all gays are promiscuous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get in trouble.
Oh, but it's just Thanks for the honesty, though. Thanks for the honesty. I think we actually had a legitimate question in the back. Did you have one? Oh,
I was answering Andy's question. Like when I was young, I did try to pray to get
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, well, because I'm like
So I was like,
FTM too. Like I'm butch right now, but I want to transition. So I used to try to be girly for my family. Sorry, my mouth is full of cupcakes anyway. And I always knew I was a lesbian. I was attracted to girls that since I was like really, really young and campus. So I did try to pray in the gay way, tried to pray myself feminine, never worked, so I just stopped.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Thanks for sharing. Hey, Cameron, it looks like you have a question. Ready? Go ahead. I'm straight back. Okay, we got a legitimate question. Well, we have a question.
Okay, I have a question. This is great, girl. Because you hang out with so many gay people, aren't you scared of becoming gay?
Well, I think that it's important for not only straight people, but for whatever sexuality they are to be confident in your sexuality. So I'm not too concerned about that. And so, I mean, I just be me and just defend people. I don't really care. So I don't worry about it.
I have another thing.
Oh, go ahead, Kyle.
Back in, I think,
Hey guys, everybody, if you guys can please simmer down. Kyle's trying to talk and say something.
Okay, so around my senior year is when I started discovering everything in sexual effort. Because before then, I was like a super Christian for a little bit, for like maybe 2 years. And yeah, like you said, trying to pray stuff away. But then I didn't really consider myself gay, even though I had done stuff previously in my life. Let's see. Yeah, that's when I kind of accepted it. I was like, okay, let's try this. And so I started going for more things and just trying a bunch of different stuff. And after senior year, that was when I had one gay relationship. And after it didn't work out, I was like, well, I'm just gonna suppress it and just try not to be gay and stuff. And that didn't work out, obviously. So it's true, you can't really, none of that training, like, oh, we'll train you to be straight or something like that, doesn't work. It's, who you are is who you are. Yeah.
The irony for that is religion actually pushed me closer to my identity, which sounds really weird. Because towards the end of my junior year, my mom was in a car crash, and that caused me, and I was there, and I had this, had to take action and kind of save the day. But it got me really spiritual, and I started to go into church and trying to, discover myself and who I am. And I thought I was discovering my spirituality, but that, in a roundabout way, led me to actually discover my own sexual identity, my own sexuality. So, religion isn't always a bad thing.
No, I'm religious as hell.
Yeah,
I'm still
I have plenty of friends who are really
religious.
Oh, I got a question.
I can be the religious as hell queer person.
Yeah,
Q&A. You want to ask questions?
because you guys don't identify as straight, are you guys still religious? Well, those are everybody's.
It depends on what?
Lindsay's not religion.
We're not here to judge.
On Sunday.
It has nothing to do with sexual orientation, to be honest. It's
People are still gonna ask you though,
Yeah.
because you know the headbutting conflict. But what is your own guys? What are your personal opinions on spirituality and religion? And remember, if you guys are on the Q&A panel asking this, you guys need to be, guys, thank you. If you guys are on the Q&A panel, and I'm not saying you haven't committed to anything yet, but just for the answer. Oh.
Alright, so like what I believe is God made us, they say God didn't make any mistakes, right? So I believe like he made us who we are. And that's why I don't believe it is a choice, your sexuality. We just are born that way, and that's what it is. And if you believe in God, you believe in God. If you don't, you don't. I believe in God personally. So I am a Christian. But I do identify more as male than I do female. And like I said, I tried to pray the gay way, it don't work. So God didn't make that a mistake, right? So that's what I believe about it. Whew.
I'm here to judge.
I have a story, and I can actually represent another community.
Do it.
All right, the story. It's actually very recent. So there was, for a while, the way I thought of it was, I can only ever be in love with a woman, but I could never be in love with a man. Like, it was just, you'd be attracted both and all this stuff. And this weekend actually proved me wrong. So now it's more on it's like I'm still gender fluid, but it's with a bit of pansexual to it. Because I realized over the weekends that there was this guy. It was just a very nice weekend. And
So it's just me.
Yeah. Oh, and as for other communities, I'm also a furry, for those who didn't know.
Oh my God, you're a furry too? How are we all the same things? Next, I'm gonna find out your boobs.
I'm not that. I'm not. But,
Do you want to explain that too, just in case people don't know
it for misconceptions.
Yeah, give the misconceptions.
Okay, so it's like the Kinsey scale. There's all different forms that you could be. You could just be in it because you say you like animals, you like cartoons, you want to dress up as a character that you have. Obviously there's the sexual side, but just because the thing with the sexual side is because it's anthropomorphic animals. They're animals that they could either be feral or they can look like human. But the fact that they look like human, you don't even notice the animal aspect of it. When you're looking at the artwork, you see the human of it, and then you just like the colors and character or whatever it is. So it's not bestiality or anything like that. It's just it really is the human aspect of it, but in artwork form. It's kind of like hentai. But
That's not a good comparison, sir. I'm just letting you know.
Well, I'm just trying to tackle it from an honest opinion.
I'm not here to judge.
Yeah, a lot of
Normally we like to beat around the bush and be like, oh no, that's a G.S.A, but it really does. It's really there, and we don't want people to just be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Y'all.
This is less a question and more just a comment, because it's like a question that I get
Go ahead.
all the time.
What's this question?
And it's just like, because I've had people come up to me and they're like, oh, okay, well, maybe you just didn't try hard enough to be a girl. Or, like, maybe if you hung out with more girls, you would be a girl. And I'm like, no, sweetie. And it's, because, like, I've tried to explain that, because I was like, no, in high school I tried that. Like, I tried to be feminine and girly, whatever. Like, I tried that. Like, I dressed like a girl, I tried to act like a girl, I did what people told me meant girl. And it's like you're putting on an act.
Yeah, you don't
honestly.
understand them.
It's like you're playing a part of the play. That's the best way to put it.
To add to that, part of how I got to mine is after flip-flopping back and forth, trying to figure it out, I realized that I do still feel feminine and masculine, but it's all based on a social construct of what feminine and masculine is, like pink, blue, and after a while, it's just like, I'm just gonna be me and see what happens. I'll still feel whatever I feel, but in the long run, this is who I am me. And that's it.
Yeah, things like that led to me really hating my femininity and my feminine side, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
why I was really, really super confused in high school because I was like, well, I don't really feel like a guy all the time, but I really hate my feminine side, so I'm just not trans enough. What is wrong with me?
Oh yeah, no, I've had like I had to deal with it because like
And then I learned there was another word. I was like,
because
oh.
like I'm a gay male and I can be pretty flamboyant, and like when I was first coming out and first dealing with that, like oh man, there was a lot of self-hatred about that and like being feminine and like liking girly things. And I would like really try and suppress that and be like super macho man, and I'm really horrible at it. Like I was really bad at it. And like even my friends were like, no, like this isn't you, like you're obviously acting different, this isn't cool. And like there's just a lot of shame like outside of the trans community and inside the trans community if you don't adhere to gender roles.
If you're not trans enough with me.
Yeah, like it's there because like there are people that feel like that and there are people that don't. But like I've gotten so much hate from people like LGBT community, trans community, outside of that, like just regular cisgendered straight people. Like they're like, okay, yeah, but you don't act like a boy, or like you don't act like what we would consider like a straight male to act like blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gay. I'm a little bit feminine, and regular cis gay dudes or straight men, whatever, like they're not super macho. I'm gonna go like saw a log in half and I'm gonna grow a beard or something like that. Like I know it's like it's I'm not super macho manly like 24/7. Regular cis dudes aren't like that. Like why should I be?
Be yourself. That's all.
Yeah, that's it.
Just love yourself. It's all about self-love, and you can't like just fit into one form of thing. Like my mom is very, very feminist, sophisticated lady, and she's like, why don't you do A, B, and C? And it's like when I was a little kid, I used to dress up in my dad's clothes or like no clothes. I didn't want the female stuff. I cried when I had to wear a dress. It was like the worst thing in the world. And yeah, I mean, just be you.
Oh yeah.
Does it come out that nice?
Just be you. So I try to keep stand up, straight. I cried when my mom said I had to wear a shirt. Because I like always take my shirt off like for all my boycotts and stuff. And I was like, no, I didn't want to wear a shirt.
Oh yeah, no, it was like a lot of the things like people don't talk about, at least when like being trans growing up, like it is really confusing.
Well, I wasn't really confused about it. It was mostly like.
I should say like socially confused.
Yeah.
Just because like you have all of these people telling you that you should be this thing.
Yeah.
Like you're just not.
I was the thing at times, and then I just wasn't the thing, and I had no fucking clue what's going on.
Oh yeah.
That's so mean.
And then I found out that transsexual was a thing, and I'm like, well, am I just a picky transsexual? What's wrong?
Yeah.
And then I found out like,
you, Sid.
and I was like, yeah, I'm bigender. Okay, I have a word now.
I might be a little bit off topic going into like what I have to me a lot too, because me being a drag queen and all, you know, all the fact that people I get automatically assumed that I want to transition. And it's because it's that kind of aspect, how I see it, it's, you know, you're just performing it, but it's like, I feel as if on stage, I'm the female more than I am the male. To me, there's more freedom being the female on stage. Man-wise, like once I get off that stage, I come off and I feel more confident on stage as being a woman than I am on stage. And it's a good vision of seeing both sides, seeing both male and female. It's interesting seeing both sides. Some people said I look at us both. Some people said, look, there's a woman better than a guy. Some people said, you know, it's a very mixture of things. So it's kind of interesting to see what people think. I'm all over the place and I'm mumbling right now, so yeah.
Did you say hee hee hee?
Yeah, I have a friend that's a drag queen that's the same way. Like, he doesn't necessarily want to transition. He just likes to do performance.
Exactly.
And yeah.
We are not here to judge, but when y'all get on stage, y'all better turn it up.
And I also realized this about myself too when it comes to pansexuality. I'm gay, but I realized that, you know, I had started actually having attractions to those also who happen to be a transgendered male. To me,
Did
I
you
feel-
realize this after last week's meeting?
I learned this actually a few weeks ago.
No, you know what? A lot of gay guys hit on me all the time at the clubs and stuff, and like I flirt with drag queens, but I'm just crazy.
'Cause I
but
think-
I love women though.
Yeah.
I'm not here to judge.
Okay, everyone. On that note, I'm gonna let's give a round of applause.
One more thing, Six.
Sorry, we gotta wrap this up. If you want to hear Donald's interesting story, talk to Donald after the meeting. But guys, before we wrap up today's meeting, we have a couple events coming up that me and Andy are planning. We have the GSA gaming competition. If you're interested in helping out plan the event, this isn't participating. This is you want to help us plan it. The sign-up sheet's going to get passed around. Your name, cell phone, email.
What time is the meeting?
What is the competition? We want to do a kind of, both these events are going to be kind of an inter-club thing. The gaming competition, we're going to try to do a couple, like maybe different types of board games or work with the gaming club. We try to do also like a video game kind of tournament competition style thing with a prize and everything. It's going to be really cool.
What we hear for Boba.
So we're going to try to organize it. So if you're interested in helping sign up for that. And also going to be passing around the GSA Inter-Club Drag Show. Surprisingly, a lot of clubs on campus were interested in putting or presenting a participant presenting a participant to compete in an amateur drag show. So if you're interested,
Amateurs, you're all welcome.
So if
I might put on a story.
So if you're interested in helping out with that, this isn't to be in it. This is just a sign-up sheet to help plan it.
Or you
we'll
want
have a
to volunteer,
separate
help
sign.
out.
Yeah, we'll have a separate sign-up sheet for if you actually want to be in it later. But yeah.
What did you guys meet for the 2 events?
We haven't cemented the dates yet. We're still working on that.
But if you put your email down, we'll email you everything.
Yeah, we'll give you all the information as soon as we have it. Okay.
Sorry.
So before we call this meeting to a close, go grab some cupcakes. There are plenty of cupcake guys, and thanks for coming here today. Sean, do you have anything? You have anything, Sean? Okay, yeah.
I see you.
Oh, if you sign up for if you have interest in sign up, we'll send you all the time and information. So go grab cupcakes, guys. Thank you.